I know I did not wake up this morning to see Remy Ma got into a fight outside the courthouse. I know Remy Ma is not 40-something years old, still on the ground, rolling around squabbling. Who she thinks she is? Zip the drip? Come on, Remy. I know this. I know this ain't what happened. Like, let me watch this video because I'm just, waking up and let me see what's going on right here.
Say to beat you up too. Try to beat you up. Come downstairs. You know you in front of the courthouse trying to act like you're tough. Yeah, stop. Yeah, let's go around the corner. Let's go around the corner. Come on, let's go around. Say
Turn around.
like your mother's ugly?
Turn around.
Like your mother's ugly?
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see something ugly, bitch. You wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't.
No makeup.
But you wasn't. Same here. You see what's up? Same here. You see what's up? Oh, okay.
Turn around.
Like your mother.
So allegedly, Remy Ma gets into an altercation outside of the courthouse when she goes to court for her son. And the person she gets into the altercation with, this is all allegedly, so, the person she gets into the altercation with is the daughter of the man that her son allegedly unalived. So that's a very tense situation. That's a family situation. My condolences go out to the family, of the person that lost their life. I don't know much about it, but still, it's a life and it's worth, mentioning and respecting and offer my condolences to you all. Out the whole situation, what bothers me the most is why the hell is Remy out there like that, just by herself? Why is she just? Why is nobody with her? Why didn't anybody intervene and step between that situation and somebody escort her off to avoid that confrontation? It seems as though like she's not respecting her celebrity. You know what I mean? She shouldn't have been in that position. It's so many other people I could think of that you just wouldn't have been able to walk up to by themselves, and come at like that. It doesn't look good for her at this age, even though she wasn't the aggressor. I understand that, she has to hold her ground, whatever. The thing is, during all this wild news that been going on with Remy lately, ever since the Papoose and Eazy the Block Captain, whatever the kid name is, man, the Block Boy Eazy, whatever was going on with them, ever since all that whole ordeal kicked off, I've been trying to show favor to Remy. Just being honest, I have, man. I've been trying. It was crazy is when there's conflict like that, marital conflict, I usually side with the dude, bro, because, I know firsthand, I done came across some POS women in my days. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. So I tend to side with the dude. But in this situation, I side with Remy. That's the home team. You know what I mean? Like I said, our families are close. The same young man, Remy's son, who's being accused of that crime, his father, that's my man, my man Jarvin. But Jarvin's brother, J Mar, married and had a kid by my cousin, Danica. You know what I mean? So Remy's son and my cousin's son were first cousins. You know what I mean? So before I went away, when I was on the block, I didn't live on the block anymore. At that time, me and my kid's mom, we lived in Parkchester. My daughter's mom, we lived in Parkchester at that time. So I would just be on the block every day. And when I'm on the block, I'm basically at my cousin Nika's house. If I had to go to the bathroom, I'm going to Nika's house. If I want to go upstairs and eat, drink, I'm going upstairs to Nika's house. If nobody's outside, I'm bored, I'm going upstairs to Nika. So when I'm on the block, I'm at her house. And she babysat Remy's son. You know what I mean? So it's a family thing there, man. So I didn't want to get up here and talk against her in that Pap situation, even if I did feel she was wrong. You know what I mean? I was going to, it's a situation where, like if I feel my people are wrong, it's not like I won't admonish them. Sometimes I'll do it in private. Certain people I wouldn't admonish publicly on the internet like that. I'm going to try to save face on the internet, but when I see them in person, I'll tell them what it is or whatever. But I never wanted to go against her, you know what I mean, up here like that. But this situation is bad, man. It made me feel like, yo, bro, Where was this little nigga at? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Where's this little nigga at, man? That you threw your marriage away for? Because I feel like Pap wouldn't have let that situation escalate. Pap wouldn't have let that person get close to you. Pap would have grabbed you by the waist and walked you in the courtroom. Or Pap would have backed them people down the steps and away from you. But I believe Pap would have been there by your side. I don't give a damn if that nigga had a battle or what going on. That nigga would have been there by your side holding you down. And it's like sometimes we make decisions thinking in the short term and we don't think long term and we don't add everything up. Sometimes we've been with a person for so long, we take it for granted and we minimize them. You know what I mean? To their shortest depth, to whatever their biggest shortcoming is, whatever their biggest character defect is, we minimize them to that's all they are. You know what I mean? And I think you might have lost sight, man, of if nothing else, you know what I mean, you had a rider by your side that would roll with you, through thick and thin. Maybe he might not have been as freaky as you are, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe he might not have been into some of the things you were into the bedroom or whatever. But it's like when you sacrifice some temporary pleasure for a permanent person that would ride for you to the end of time, and no matter what situation, it's not always a wise decision. Some people mess up their lives making that decision. And it always seems like, the person that you step off on and minimized to whatever their character defect was, they always go on to excel. And people always have regrets about doing that to people, But Rem, I think that's a bad look for you. I think you're too old to be getting into altercations. I'm so thankful that video did not show you and that young lady at the bottom of the steps rolling around on the ground, squabbling. That would have been a very bad look, But other than that, Rem, you got to tighten up. I don't know what it is, man. I think, I don't know, maybe you need a deen in your life, Rem. Yeah, you need a deen in your life. Eazy supposed to be Muslim, man. And he run around playing boyfriend and girlfriend, which that's a poor representation of the deen. Is you married to that nigga? Huh? He took you to the masjid and married you. He gave you a dowry. I mean, if not, y'all playing games, man. That's what it is. You need some Islam in your life, man. Yeah, you might want to come sit next to me and let me teach you some things. Absolutely, absolutely. You need some direction. You need some guidance. You need some discipline. You need some structure, man. You need some structure, and I can give it to you. I can give you that too. But you got to get married first. You got to get married first. You know what I'm saying? I help you clean your act up. Help you clean your image up. But you can't be like Brittany Renner and take the hijab off as soon as you get mad. Because you're going to get mad. It come with the game. But I help you get your mind right. I'll marry you just to save you, Fisi Billallah. Just to save you from yourself. Because you self-destructing, Rennie. You self-destructing. So holler at me if you want to get saved.